I feel that it's very, like, education is a right, I believe. It's my just personal belief. And not all people can afford expensive textbooks. I'm pretty sure in it, because textbooks, biology textbook cost almost $400. It's a lot.
Basically, everything that I'm taking right now, like through all my classes, all my books cost around $300.
I'll say from my first semester here, my textbook cost about like up to $400.
$80 to like $100 per textbook, so roughly a couple $100.
Biology, which I really have to get book, and it's like $225, just one book.
Wow, an average semester may run me about a couple $100.
Just this semester, it's been around $250 to $300. Usually, it could go up to $600, $650.
Like, I can work as many jobs as I can, but it's still gonna affect me, like with the textbooks, because if I'm able to pay the tuition, I won't be able to pay for the textbooks. If I pay for the textbooks, I won't have enough money for the tuition, you know?
Basically, as a student who has to work a part-time job, and because you're in school, you can't work a full-time job. So I have like other bills that I have to pay and stuff like that. And plus, like, I'm supporting myself. So it's like food and hygiene and all types of other stuff. And then on top of that is like textbooks.
What's going on in the real world, you can't always, afford buying a $200 textbook, especially that if you want us to come to school and to class, those $200 a month could be used for transportation, like your Metro card. And
textbooks every semester cost me upwards about at least $200 for all my courses, and I have to pay for transportation to get here, and it costs a lot every month, over $100. So that kind of cancels out for at least 2 months of my transportation's worth. That helps me a lot.
Well, that's close to rent. That's food. That's transportation. That's anything a college student really needs. That only costs a couple bucks, but really adds up over time. So that, not having to buy that textbook, I can breathe a little bit easier as a struggling college student.
That's money that I can put towards transportation. That's money that I can put towards food. Hell, that's money I can put towards clothes. So it means it's a big difference, huge difference.
For the zero textbook, which I didn't have to pay for anything, it helped me out because I can use that money for something else instead of for like the textbook. I can use it for the tuition, or I can use it to buy some materials if I need them.
With those money, it can help me a lot with transportations and other needs like my clothes and like food.
The quality I felt was in depth because it had cited references also at the end of the material, and it had a great conclusion at all of my reading material had a great conclusion as far as the material that it covered, and the structure was great compared to an actual textbook, I feel.
From my perspective, I would say that it's better for me that they're customized in the way that I have to read less and it's more compressed. Information is very exact.
There's an advantage to it because like textbooks, traditional textbooks, there's information, but like the one we're using online right now it's better because it gives us all the information that we need. Unlike the traditional, you have to read a lot more, and many of us doesn't have the time to read the whole chapter or like the whole textbook in order for us to get the information that we need.
It's just much easier, and you kind of look more forward to it, so you don't have to focus on all that reading or whatever. It's there, and you can always listen to it. That's just one of the biggest things that help. Like I was happy about for this course, that you could just listen to it. It made it a lot easier because sometimes reading gets very strainful on your eyes, and sometimes it's boring looking at it. So you could take your notes and study at the same time.
Notes, stop, pause, go back to things that I wasn't sure about, stop, go back, and it wasn't something that drew a lot of energy from me as far as reading the material. You know, your eyes get tired, you get tired staying in one place, so I was able to move around and things like that.
It lets you personalize it and find information faster. So instead of me going through my notebook, which page was it on that I wrote about chapter 2, about my footnotes, I just go electronically into chapter 2 and see what I notated about this section that I paraphrased for myself to understand what I read out of this.
I prefer this system when professor prepares this for us and just post it every week exactly what we have to read. It's more straightforward, it's faster to do, and it's easier to understand.
When you rent books, you don't want to write in them, you're scared to write in them, you think that they're not going to take the rent textbook back, and you're going to get charged more than what you paid for the rent.
When the textbooks are rented, they're not even exactly as cheap as they like, okay, I'm renting it, so it should be cheaper. No, it's probably like $20 cheaper than the regular price of the textbook. So it's like, okay, that's such a difference.
I had to purchase textbook for this class because we will have online homework that is included in the textbook. The thing is, it's already middle of the semester and I never had to open the book. You know, every material professor provided to us. Most of the time we were doing something that may be described in the book, I don't know, but it was explained in the class perfectly, and I have normal grades there.
I mean, for one, half the classes that I buy the textbook, we don't really use the textbook. And so I feel like I'm wasting money and, you know, the resources that we have.
I have sociology that I bought. I didn't buy it. It's $90, but I rent it. And I probably use it only twice over the semester. And I don't know where is it now. It's just laying down somewhere.
It's very awful that I have to pay for something that I don't use. It's just, okay, I have money, you know, I have this $120 anyway, but I could have put them on saving account or buy myself jacket or buy my mom flowers, you know. There are so like, I don't like that a lot of materials that we have to buy, we as a result don't use. And it's really a problem.
The reason why I like it is because even though I don't have my textbook with me, I can just pull out my phone, pull out my tablet, pull out my whatever I have, and I can look it up, whatever material I want to see. Like, you know, it's not that, like, I don't have to carry like something heavy in my book bag. It's like convenient. I have it everywhere. I don't have to look for things. I can literally use someone else's phone or whatever. Like, you know, it's everywhere with me, you know.
Yeah, it's more streamlined. It's much lighter. I don't have to break my back carrying it everywhere. You know, it fits in my pocket, and that's a definite plus as well.
I mean, what's the point of then carrying around like this heavy book around with you to class back and forth, especially if you need to do that for some students, which it is, like biology, or you just need to have the textbook in front of you to, in order to participate in the lecture.
Always save a few pages, screenshot it, and read it on the train or whatever. You don't really have to rely on holding that really heavy textbook that all these readings would have added up to if we had a textbook.
You don't have to remember to bring textbooks to class. Sometimes I'm very angry where I bring like 3 textbooks to school and we don't use any of them, and I'm just having this dead weight with me all day. And if I do forget and we do need it that day, I just pull up my laptop or my phone and I have it right there. So that's another plus to it.
I feel like it'll be a good thing as a student because I won't have to come out of pocket so much as a student who's working part-time and going to school. I won't have to come out of pocket and spend so much money because the textbooks are free. And that'll help like me as a student, a bunch of other students that like are dealing with other life issues and stuff like that who want to come to school and do their best, but sometimes they can't afford a textbook.
I would like to say that I really appreciate the program. Thank you, Governor. Thank you, people who do this. And I hope that in future we will have more opportunities for free education. And I'm pretty sure it won't be worse than paid one. It will be or the same or better. It's what I feel personally.
It alleviates a lot of stress on on us, and we come to school more focused and be more engaged in class.
Does it benefit everyone overall better to have options to free text? Yes. Just like it benefits everybody to have a bathroom in the school. Like, it's kind of the same concept. It's everyone having access to equal education.